You're so scared now, you're probably drowning in your own sweat.
Ah, before that happens. Couldn't I pick a fight with you if I tied one hand behind me? If I tied both hands...
Hey folks, it's the Blind Guy coming back at you with another good old movie recommendation, and on this episode we are taking a look at 1955's Bad Day at Black Rock, starring Spencer Tracy and directed by John Sturges, who also directed The Great Escape, mind you, which I have a review of that one as well if you want to check it out. And this one is a good one. It stars an all-star cast of character actors including Walter Brennan, Robert Ryan, Lee Marvin, Ernest Borgnine. I mean, it's crazy how many of them are in this movie, and they do a great job. It's a mostly male cast with one female, and the premise of the movie is Spencer Tracy's character takes a train to a very isolated town that's supposed to be in Arizona, and something has happened in this town. There's a lot of mystery and intrigue and a lot of passive aggressiveness, straight up aggressiveness towards him. They don't want him there, and so then he's trying to figure out exactly what has happened in that town. They're trying to figure out why he's there. The audience doesn't know either answer until the end of the movie, which is awesome, and it's just extremely well done. It's got a very nice, they call it like a neo-western type feel to it. It's got a little bit of an anti-western feel, which means that it's a little ambiguous as to who's who and a little bit gritty. It doesn't have the idealism of a lot of the westerns that came out before it. And in my opinion, this is one of the better movies that was made in the 1950s. The 1940s movies, and this is just a side note, I think the 1940s movies are some of the greatest movies ever made. 1940s, 1970s, to me, were the two golden eras of Hollywood. And then a lot of the movies in the 50s and early 60s got a little more corny and cheesy. This one's not. This one has, it's got some grit to it. It's got some darkness to it. And it's got extremely well done dialogue. It feels very natural, but it's also interesting to listen to. Doesn't feel overly scripted. And all of the performances are great. I've got just two issues with this one. The first issue, I'm not super fond of the title Bad Day at Black Rock. I think that maybe just a title like Black Rock may have been better, or something, or Occurrence at Black Rock, something like that. Just Bad Day at Black Rock. I don't know. It just doesn't really fit. To me, it doesn't fit the atmosphere of the movie. It almost sounds a little bit like a comedy or something along those lines. That's very minor, though. The original title had the term, it was based on a short story in the American magazine. The original title had the word Honda in it, but they thought that would be a little too similar to the movie Hondo that had just come out, so they changed it to Bad Day at Black Rock. That's the first thing. The second small little quibble I have with the movie is there's a fight scene that takes place in one of the bars, and it's got little like 4 interactions between the two characters fighting, and I think it would have been better and more believable with just the first interaction. It would be a very quick and believable fight, but it kind of goes on a little too long and gets a little bit unbelievable. Not terrible, but those are the only two things that maybe I would change about the movie. Spencer Tracy actually tried to get out of making this movie and was threatened to be sued, and I'm glad he's in it. He's older than you would expect his character to be, but he does a good job. He's just kind of by the book, not wanting to really cause any ripples or anything, but he also can tell that he's been through a lot in World War II, and he's not going to put up with anybody's crap. So it's just a really fun movie. It's got an ending to it. You guys know I always talk about when endings of movies get a little over their skis, a little too out there. This one doesn't really. It actually kind of wraps up almost more quickly than you would expect it to. I think that maybe that could have been adjusted a little bit to build some suspense. But if somebody had told you that the ending had happened in real life, I think you would have believed it. It's actually believable. So this scores a 7.7 on IMDb. I think that's pretty right on. That 7.6 to 7.8 range. It's something that I would not have any hesitation in owning, and I think it'd be a lot of fun if you have somebody who's kind of a fan of these neo-western type movies, where it's got great cinematography. It was filmed in Tonopah, California, and they built this little town out there. It's got a train running through it. It's just a lot of fun. It's a really cool little movie, and I've seen it a couple times now. So a little fun side note, Walter Brennan's in the movie, and my grandpa actually casually knew him by acquaintance. They lived in the same area and actually had several conversations. So I thought that was pretty cool. So definitely check this one out. It's Bad Day at Black Rock. Let me know in the comments if you have seen it and what you guys thought about it. If you'd like to support the channel, feel free to send us a donation using our Venmo. You can also send us an email with a suggestion for a movie, a game, a TV show you'd like us to review, and we would definitely do that for you guys. So there's another episode of Good Old Movies, and I'll see you on the next episode of A Blind Guy's View. Laters on the Menjay.
Laters on the Menjay.
Ships on bigger on the waves are skimming by, and summits to the verdant plains.